Hello everyone and welcome to SRL, the SRL Cup Series with the Sylvias, and we are racing here at Blue Moon. It's going to be 100 laps, 12 drivers. Blue Moon is a very interesting track, and Justin Shack, he will lead them into turn one after making the front row with Steven. He was on pole while Steven was in second and RFK front row. And Justin will lead them on the backstretch. The thing about this track that is very weird with the Sylvias is that it pretty much kind of runs like a super speedway. It runs like a mini Atlanta. And we have a lot to talk about here in terms of the league right now. T-Bone is your points leader, even though he is tied with Steven. Steven, if he maybe had a little bit better of a performance last week at the tail end of that race, he would have the points lead right now. But T-Bone is the points leader. He is tied with Steven. Obviously, with this tie, he has the tiebreaker because he has the better average finish. And he is the most recent winner. So the field kind of getting spread out a little bit. Oh, T-Bone got a little washed up. He had to get out of gas, and now he is falling back. He was in second. Now he's going to be in seventh right now, falling to eighth. You see there's a car on the outside. That is Bubba trying to make moves. He comes back down with the Chevrolet Brigade, and they got 2 4s leading them in front. And the biggest thing you got to do right now, you got to really separate those 2 RFK drivers. You cannot let them win this race by just having more numbers. They were a force to be reckoned with last year in the championship finale, pretty much just creating a wall. Nobody could really get past them because there were just 3 cars in a single file line, similar to how SHR did it in Talladega in 2018. But you see the alternate lines that you see throughout the field. I mean, you got drivers in the high line, drivers in the middle. The track offers that opportunity. But as they come down the backstretch, you got 4 cars kind of separating themselves from the whole pack right now. Retro still in the picture, but these 4s are really trying to get away from them, from the whole field. But you see the pack is starting to form now. You got about 8 cars in this lead draft. And you have T-Bone and Husky falling a little bit ways behind. Looks like Justin will lead another lap. Here comes Steven, his teammate darts right below him into turn 1, and let's see if the momentum helps him out. Shaq on the outside gets the push from Bubba, but Bubba and Isaiah are working together on the outside, and I think the Chevys are really just picking up on that. They're just like, hey, we have to work together to beat these RFK drivers. These 4 drivers, just, you got to do everything to keep them separated. And Bubba will get to the lead. Isaiah is currently 4th in the point standings with 42 points, 3 back behind the points leader T-Bone. He just hopes he can have a good run right now. But you see the pack right now, a very, very, very decently sized pack, about 10 cars, all within contention of the front of this field, and Bubba will get a lap less, so that is a point for him. And you see the interesting line that a lot of people are taking. A lot of people going on the high line. But let's go throughout this field right quick as Bubba is leading. We already mentioned Isaiah. He's in second. And Shaq, currently outside the points, or currently outside the chase standings, excuse me. He has 19 points, but he is 5 points behind Bubba, who is the first place driver. So Shaq really wants to get a good run today to, you know, shorten that cushion up. And there's a little contact right there. He put him in the wall. And there's about to be 3 wide going down the front stretch. A Chevy sandwich with a Ford car in between. And Bubba will lead that lap, but Isaiah is still holding strong on the bottom. Retro comes on the top. Isaiah comes in front of Shaq to get, you know, take the line away from him. Bubba's still on the outside. It's still too wide. Great that they held it on throughout that whole corner. There was a little bit of chaos back here. Steven has fallen. He was leading and he was swapping the runner-up position with Shaq a couple laps ago, but now he is falling back to 9th. And Bubba still continues to lead even throughout that whole sequence on the front stretch. And Alex here has made his way up through the field. He was in the back of the pack. We saw him at 10th place at one point. Now he's in 3rd. So he is doing a lot right now. Everything is going right. And Bubba will need another lap. You see Alex and Retro side by side. Alex's situation right now, excuse me, he is not, Stephen is not tied with the points leader, T-Bone. That is actually Alex. Alex right now, he is tied with T-Bone. He doesn't have a win to his name, but he has been very consistent with a 2.7 average finish going into the 4th week of the season. So very impressive running and outing for the RFK drivers at the beginning of the season. And speaking of RFK drivers, Justin has found his way back up to the lead. Everybody riding that high line. And this is the thing that's different from the championship finale. In the championship finale, it just seemed like the cars would just get stuck together. I don't know if it's because of the bigger field, but it just looks like it's a lot. This is going to be a lot more of a nuanced race. You know, drivers are not going to be able to make it 3 wide and say, oh man, Alex put Bubba in the wall. That's going to slow him down a little bit. And there's a mass confusion right there. Nobody wrecked, but that's not the most polite thing you can do into turn 1. And I'm pretty sure Alex will get it. We'll hear some of it, but they are still racing, still green, but just slight contact into the wall. And that's going to allow Retro to peak on the inside with Isaiah in tow in 3rd place. And Retro is interesting too because he did not have a good race at Miyabi, so that's kind of put him in the points hole. Right now he has 13 points to his name on the season, but he's 11 points behind Joshi / Bubba, who is in the final chase transfer spot. So he's going to have to make up some ground. If he gets a win and, you know, either these other chase drivers have a horrible day, he's going to make up a lot of ground. And Blue Moon certainly does give you that. And Justin, speaking of the chase, is trying to rival that. He's trying to rival the other drivers in front of him in points to get into the chase. It's the 4th race of the season, but you only have 9 races to make enough points to get into the chase. It's a 9 race regular season, 5 race postseason. But this is the thing that's different about the finale. The finale was very chaotic. Like the cars just could not get away from each other. I don't know if it was the draft or the pace, but we can kind of tell that this is a different race because the pace is a lot slower than what the finale was giving. A lot of those drivers at the finale, they were running high 50-point-something laps, and we just haven't seen that. We've seen a lot of drivers run 51 flat lap times, but in the finale, the pace was greatly increased, probably that was probably the reason why the draft was so powerful, because the cars were just going faster and everybody could just stay together. And the thing that's interesting about that race is that we had a 56-lap green flag run. And it all changed because Isaiah got spun out, and then there was a 2-car incident involving him and Matthew. But you see the field starting to spread out now. That's single file. And Retro will take the lead throughout that. Isaiah on the high line, Retro still there. Shaq trying to get on the low line, try to get some type of momentum. It's not going to work. T-Bone has made his way back up to the field. You got 2 Trackhouse drivers in the top 4. And the thing that's interesting about this race is that fuel strategy might play a factor. Your fuel lasts about maybe 20, 21, 22 laps. So it's going to be interesting to see if this race does go fully green, if anybody can really catch them, or if anybody really can, make the race shorter on that end. And Justin will go to the inside. Justin will make the pass on the backstretch. You see the two green cars, Steven and Bubba, lagging behind and losing a little bit of that draft. That's not what you want to happen. He's in that pack with Alex and Pokemon. Shredding has fallen a little bit off the front pace of the front pack. You see a Husky, another Trackhouse driver in the top 10. You see Trey Highs. He's falling off a little bit of the pack, and this is kind of where the tire wear really separates the whole field right now, because unlike Daytona, there is tire wear here, and this kind of resembles a pre-repaved Daytona where tire wear and handling actually matters, and now the field is getting a little bit spread out. Retro leading some laps right now. Isaiah gets a little tight, a little kiss in the wall. There's another Chevy driver. I know the paint scheme's not loading, but T-Bone is a Chevy. And like I said, the field is starting to separate. You see that pack, it was about 10 cars in a line, but now it's getting really squirrely and hairy. You know, the strategies are going to emerge. See those drivers in the back. I mean, they've caught up a little bit with a little bit of draft. But you see Bubba in the top 5 with Steven pushing him, and now you got RFK driver in front of Bubba. And now T-Bone goes to the inside of Isaiah. All Chevys in the top 3. He wants to make a stick, a little contact. But now, because of this racing, that, you know, this pack is becoming a little bit more condensed. You see Pokemon on the tail end. He's getting a little bit closer to this pack. Husky's losing a little bit. But now they are 2x2 in a 1. And a little bit of a checkup. I think T-Bone was trying to clear Retro, but it was a little awkward angle. Now they're 2x2 on the backstretch. T-Bone takes the lead in turn 1, and he hopes to hold it until he gets to the finish line and get a bonus point. It's an 8-car pack now. Steven got a little squirrely. He's into the wall, but he recovers it. Looks like Alex got on the wall too. Bubba's in the 4th position with Shaq in 5th. Pokemon 6th. His car's not loading. I don't know why. Alex 7th. Steven 8th. Husky in 9th. Trey in 10th. And Shredding in 11th. With Matthew, tail end of the field. Husky, hopefully he can get back up to this lead pack. You see the distance right there. That's not a big enough of a gap to really lose faith, but you know, you can still hopefully get it throughout pit strategy. So he needs to maintain that pace right now. But these top 8 drivers are really racing hard right now because track position, I mean, this track is very deceptively chaotic in terms of like, okay, everybody now has a better chance of winning this race based off pace, but you know, the draft is very singular in turn 1. Everybody really rides the outside line, just like we're seeing here. We got 5 cars on the outside. You see Shaq and Bubba will squeeze into a hole that was there with Retro, and there's a little contact. There's a lot of commotion coming off turn 4. And yeah, I think people are hearing that what I've been talking about. You really want to get this track position because you know, the tires start to wear, and it makes those moves really hard to make. And you see Retro on the inside, 3 wide, Shackett, and they still hold on to it, but Shackett will have to let up and get behind Retro as Bubba and Retro are 2 by 2. And T-Bone is grinning from ear to ear because he wants to see that racing happen. And you see these guys getting more intense right now. Yeah, and Shackett on the inside. Steven, where did he come from? Where did he come from? He's able to push Shackett to the inside. He's going to get a little help. He's still there, flush with the side of T-Bone's car. And now you see a 3-car. No. Well, yeah, I mean, Steven, and here comes Retro to help Trackhouse. Battle of 2 teams on the inside and outside. T-Bone gets low on the wall, causing a commotion right there. They were 3 wide off the corner. And they're getting racy. Shackett back up to the front. As we're about to close in on the start of lap 20. And Shackett will still hold on to this lead going to turn 3. You see Husky there. You see that gap. I mean, he's still within that zone, but he is falling a little bit off the pace just because of this drag. The drag acts as a multiplier. And Shackett will lead another lap. It'll be amazing if he can have a good finish and then lead the most laps, because that's going to be able to help him get some more points on this cut line. We really know what our top 8 drivers are really capable of right now. I mean, these are pretty much going to be these guys fighting for contention, because, you know, you don't know if they'll have a caution or not. This could be a caution-free race. You never know. They're racing really clean right now, but they're racing hard, and they're riding the fence right now. It's right on board with Shackett. Yeah, you see pretty much everybody on the high line. And here comes Steven. Oh, he had a big block on Retro. I don't know if that was on purpose or they were trying to help each other out. The four is working together. Chevy's on the outside, and Shackett just got a huge push from Steven. That's going to help him. You see these cars in the back are fanning out. And it looks like the green flag pit stops will occur. And you have 5 drivers come in. So it's going to be Shackett, Steven, Bubba, Alex, and Pokemon. I thought they were going to get another lap on fuel, but this is the start of the pit cycle. So you got these 5 drivers, they're making their pits. Let's go back up to the front. Let's see how this is going to work out. You see pretty much all the Chevys came or stayed out except Pokemon and Bubba. There are 2 Chevy drivers part of DEI. But Retro will be in the lead now because of the pit cycle. And we got to see what, you know, the duration of limp is going to be for these pit stops. And it looks like Husky is gaining some ground on these drivers. I mean, especially now because, you know, it's not a big enough pack like it was before. So now you see him, he is starting to get closer back into the picture. And he hopes to get back up to his Trackhouse teammates. I mean, look at the recovery he's made. He has really gained a lot of ground, so that is very promising for that crew. You see the lap times. I mean, yeah, 53 lap times from the leaders, but now Husky is in the low 52, so that is going to cut into that lead. I don't know, they may be saving. I mean, 23, well, it's a 22 lap green flag run for these guys right now, so they might be saving gas. Let's go back to the earlier pit injuries, and you see that these guys are lined up. And it looks like this is their strategy. They want to stay lined up as much as possible to get faster lap times, but also just to save a little bit of gas. But I think these guys are really trying to save hardcore. Let's see what the pace is, 53.1, but the race pace right now is a 50.9. So I think these guys are saving gas. You see Husky is closing in on them because that's what they're doing. I think they're saving gas, and they're just hoping that maybe you shorten the amount of pit stops you make, that you basically, can pull away from the field. And these guys are in turn one now, so these guys are really separated. I mean, this is an interesting strategy. They are running their fastest laps of the race. You see Pokemon just got a new fast lap, but these guys are really setting the pace right. Everybody in this group ran their fastest lap. Shackett is on a fast sector. You see, and yeah, they are saving gas. They're running 53 lap times, so 24 laps on a single run right now. But the thing about that, let's see what these lap times are. I mean, they're losing 3 seconds pretty much per lap, but they've only pitted once. There you go. There's another lap time. So there's 6 seconds now. So they've just lost 6 seconds because of the fuel strategy. I think ideally the golden zone would be like, okay, here they come. So they just lost 6 seconds. All Trackhouse drivers come in. Here is Isaiah, alone with, just pretty much alone by himself on the track. In the lead though, trying to get some bonus points. I believe he will get a lap led because of that. And that will count towards his championship total. But you see these guys are fueling up. Let's see where the rest of the, well, I mean, that question is already answered as soon as I changed the camera. They pretty much just blew past them. I mean, it is, but what that group kind of has to hope to do is that they just have to hope that they don't lose. I mean, because the first group, they were pretty much making a pit stop with the strategy that they're doing, maybe every 20 laps. In this other group, maybe every 25 laps. So obviously, you're trying to limit it to one less pit stop. So you're going to have to at least stay within 30 seconds of this group right here for it to really, really make a difference. I mean, and it looks like they are far behind. Let's see what this interval is going to be once they do pass the line. Here's Isaiah in the lead. Shackett leading this group with Bubba as the caboose. All right. So they are about 12, 11 seconds behind that group with Retro. But here's the thing. These guys are not together. They are very separated. They're not working together in a line. So they are losing some more time compared to the, I mean, look at this. Look at the unorganization. I mean, where is, okay, yeah. So, and that's the magical part. You know, these guys, Shredding and Hives, they are way out of the picture, but because this group saved so much gas, they have fallen back to where they were. Because these guys, they pitted a little bit earlier. They pretty much pitted at the same time as the first group on lap 20. But I don't know, man. I don't know. They have to hope that they stay within a certain amount of time for this to really work. Oh, Shredding gets a little squirrel here as Retro as well. He got really loose. Highs is in the wall. But they got to start pushing. I mean, look, you're going 3 wide right now. They're racing. They can't afford to lose a lot of time. Because what you want to do by hopefully saving more gas than these guys is that, one, you make it one less pit stop, and two, you make it to where you require less fuel for the final stint. But these guys, they're really tracking along. Bubba with the fast lap right now, 50.825. And they're just pulling away. All running 51 flats pretty much. 50.0 lap times. These guys are running decent pace right now too. I mean, the ideal thing is that, hey, they did lose some time, but I think what you would have to do really, if they don't make it a 4-lap pit stop, they have to pit with these guys in front, and hopefully, since they are not saving as much fuel, they will have to, you know, they are going to basically leapfrog them and get closer to their pack. But you see these guys, Isaiah in last right now. He made his pit stop, but he's far. I mean, and that's the problem. These guys, they're not organized. They are very spread out. They are very, very spread out, and that may really hurt them. I mean, but the gap is, it looks like it's consistent right now because these guys are running 51 flat times. Their tires are a little bit more worn than these guys in the back. But the time has already been lost. They've already lost 6 seconds on these guys before the pit cycle. And Alex is going to lead some laps. He's going to, you know, hang on to those championship points. Pokemon DEI driver on the bottom tries to make a move, but it's not going to work. There's no draft down there. And I mean, what we talked about earlier is that, I mean, I understand you don't want to do what these guys are doing, but you see, I mean, look at this, is a 6-car sort of pack. I mean, they're not in the draft. They're not in the draft, but these guys, they're just pushing. They're pushing hard. I mean, they're all in a line together. But the thing about this, I mean, and I think this gap is growing bigger. Because I mean, look at that gap. That is, I mean, it's still about 10 seconds. I mean, yeah, they're gaining on the latter half of that pack a little bit. I mean, let's look behind where Pokemon is to see. I mean, you can't even see them. They are a blip in the mirror. But what I was saying earlier is that, I mean, these guys, I would have never really, you know, the Chevys, they had to stick together. I feel like the best defense you have for this is to just stay together. Because you do not want these RFK drivers to work together. You have 3 of them lined up, and it is hard to pass here on anything else but the outside line. And they're separated. I mean, if I was these guys, I would tell them, hey, maybe slow down, work together. But I don't know, the pace is very invariable right now. And I mean, you got a Trackhouse driver there in Retro or in Husky right behind Retro. I mean, they could get together, make some noise, but they're not. So these guys are probably going to pit within 7 laps. And Shaki goes to the inside. He takes the lead with help from Steven and Bubba. So that is going to give him more points. And I believe somebody just had an incident. Shredding just pitted, I believe. So he is going to be on the tail end of the lead lap right here, and he's going to get swallowed up by these guys. And that is not what you want that second group to. You don't want to hear that, because that is going to be more drivers in this pack, giving them more speed. So let's look at the leader. 51, high 51s, mid 51s. about the same lap time. So these guys are really, they are very much in the same pace bracket, but they have less cars, and that might be a problem. Lap 35 is on the way as we completed the 34th lap here at Blue Mill. Oh, huge push, and man, I got Shaq a little squirrel. He's in the wall. A little bit of net code right there. Bubba's still with the fastest lap of the race so far, 50.825. He would love to hold on to that fastest lap point. That will be an extra bonus point to keep a little bit of a margin in front of the chase cutoff. I mean, points are points. You always want to take your points. And that's the thing. You always want to race like points are on the line, because they are. You never know what can happen. People can disconnect, lag out, leave. And there is Shredding on the inside. He will go a lap down as the leaders will pass on the outside. Top two separated slightly, but now you see there's a 6-car pack in tow. And you have the 3 RFK drivers in front. And that is what I was saying. I was saying you have to, let me look at the back half of this field, because I believe, it's about a 10-second gap. I don't know why in the mini map it looks like the gap is increasing, but it's still pretty much relatively the same. Let's look at the lap times as they cross by. Relatively the same. But that's what I was saying. I felt like with the Chevys in the back, you have to stay with RFK. You cannot let them control this race. They are in the top 3 for a reason, because they're sticking together. And that is not what you want to see from the field. I mean, they won the race last year because of blocking the whole field, essentially. Coming down to 63 laps to go here. Front 5 are still in tow in a single file line. Still no caution. Haven't had really any incidents on the racetrack right now. And these guys, let's see what the gap is. That gap is slowly decreasing. They are getting closer. It's about 9 seconds now. You see Highs and Husky, they've fallen off, and that's the thing. Isaiah too, man, it may have not been the best strategy, because he is falling, he is losing lap time right now because he's out of the draft. And that draft really acts as a multiplier. We could see a situation where the whole pack, half of the pack is literally caught up because, they've fallen off the pace. This is a very different race from the championship race. The championship race was, it was a battle of everything. It was a battle of strategy. There was a little bit of the, separate pockets of packs throughout that race. They had 14 people, mind you, so that kind of did change the dynamic of this race. But that championship race, there were cars gaining on each other because the tire wear was so, pronounced that it allowed, certain drivers that were out of the draft to gain on the other drivers. And then the final 30 laps of that race, it was just pure pack racing. It was absolutely insane. Everybody was staying close together, but there did, because of that, there was a couple of wrecks. It looks like Justin may be in the front running position to get most laps led right now. He has led a lot of this race. Pretty much calm right now. There's not a lot going on the racetrack. This is one of those slow burn races where this is pretty much a cold war. You know, not a lot of explosive moments, but strategy and math right now is pretty much aiding anything. And we are at lap 41, so there might be a green flag pit stop this time. We have to see and wait. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it might be happening very soon. Let's look at the leaders and see if they make any moves to the inside. And no, it looks like they will continue to go another lap, so they may have been saving a little bit of gas. But it looks like those guys in the back, they are catching. Let's see what these lap times are. They are catching compared to the rest of the leaders. They were running 52s. Went from 9 seconds to about 7. So they are catching. And that could be because these tires are wearing out. You see the field is getting a little bit more separated because of the tire wear. More tire wear is going to basically separate these guys in a pack. And it looks like, I think these guys might be pitting now. Yeah, I think these guys are pitting now. Let's see what it is. Lap 42, that is when they are pitting. And because of that, you see these guys are coming in. These guys are going to stay out, the Trackhouse duo. And man, oh my goodness, the whole field is really separated. I think it's because some of these guys, they just pitted. Shredding pitted earlier, but he's on the tail end of the lap. Now he got a lap back because of that. And you see Highs is in the back right there. But this is kind of changing the dynamic. I mean, Isaiah falls the pace of those top 2 drivers, so it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up at. But I mean, if these guys pit at lap 50, I mean, this may change the race. I mean, because these guys, they were maintaining a gap. It went down from 9. It went down from 11 to 9, then 7. So. I mean, like I said, you gotta hope that these guys basically at least hold a maybe 30-second lead in front of these guys to make the extra pit stop less of damage. And these guys just came out of pits right here on the backstretch. Lap 43, lap 44 for the leaders, as they have already passed the finish line. And these guys are going to try to get together and start pushing. Let's see how much of the discrepancy is going to be between, or disparity between these guys and their lap times. Running consistent 51 5s, 51 4s. Now it's a 52, which is a little bit of a dip in the pace. It might be because the tires are starting to get shredded. Let's look at the tire situation. Front right's about a third of the way from optimal. That's 52 lap times. He's running at 52. Let's see what these guys are going to run. This is their first full pace lap. About 52 flat, but now they're going to get back up to speed. These guys, they stopped and pitted at lap 21, lap 42. So they probably pit around every 21 laps. But these guys, they might be trying to go from lap 50 to 75, and then that's it. They don't have to worry about no more gas. They would just have to save But the problem is that when you're saving, these guys are going to gain ground because, you know, that extra pit stop gives them less anxiety. They don't have to worry about saving anything. But let's look at the gap. I mean, you see that in the background. Isaiah really by himself, so that's going to cost him some time. 53, so now they are really saving. We can see the dip in the lap time and the dip in the pace. It shows that these guys are really saving. They're trying to get to lap 50. They're trying to make it basically a 3-stop race compared to a 4-stopper or a 5-stopper. I mean, if they could do 25 laps per run, I mean, they basically can do 3 pit stops compared to these guys that are doing maybe every 4. They're doing every 21 laps. They're all in line, 51. So they're gaining time. The 2 leaders with the strategy. I mean, you see that pack is on the back straightaway right now in sector 1. Now they're into sector 2. These guys are at the start finish line. So 53 lap times. These guys, let's look at the fuel situation. They might not have to pit until 2 more laps, so the strategy, it could be working, but I don't know. And that second pack is now at the start finish line. You see Isaiah, no draft, these guys are going to catch him in a certain amount of time. And Husky, he may have just pitted sometime soon. I mean, he is full of gas, so I don't know when he pitted, but it must have been soon. There's a little damage on his car, so, but he has fallen off, so he may have had a problem. Let's see what these guys are going to have. They are approaching the completion of lap 49. Getting close to the halfway point of this race. One more lap. And here they come. They will stay out another lap. So high 53 lap times right now. You see the rest of the field right there. Isaiah and Husky is falling off the pace. So they, you know, step 2 of their strategy has been complete. It might look like they will come to pit road probably this time, according to my prediction. But they are gaining. I mean, that group is really gaining on them. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, that was about maybe like 2 seconds per lap for the last 2 laps. Let's look at these lap times. All 53s, all 51s. So they've gained probably about 8 seconds on them because of their saving. And now here they come, here they come. I was predicting right. Lap 50, that's when they will pit. And we are at the halfway point of this race with 2 differing strategies. Now, they will stay out. I mean, it said he pitted on lap 50. I do not think he pitted. No way. See, these guys are really catching him now. A 1.5 seconds gain. roughly about 7 to 8 seconds gain on him. Because these guys are in the pack. Well, he's not. And he stayed out. Yeah, he did not pit. That was a glitch in the graphic on the right-hand side. So that looks like what it's going to be for those guys. So they're going to pit probably around lap 75. Isaiah, he's on a longer run. And he's out by himself, trying to really get away. I mean, they might catch him in time. I mean, he just ran about a 1.5 second gap into that lead right there. And these same 5 cars, they're still staying together. I mean, that is better than anything else we've seen throughout the whole rest of the field. I mean, look at this. These guys, I mean, they are on the same straightaway there, but they're just not pushing. They're not pushing. They're not close enough. T-Bone and Retro, they've been working remarkably together. I mean, they've been having good lap times regardless of this group being together with 5 cars. They've rivaled their same lap times. And Isaiah, all alone by himself, trying to make this strategy work. .47 laps to go here at Blue Moon. Still gaining. I mean, they are really catching up. And it might be interesting because once he pits, where is he going to pop out at? And now these guys are in the line. Here we go. Shredden comes in and pits. He is not on the same strategy, but these 4 looks like they are trying to work together. They are doing exactly what I want them to do, and they are working together. Isaiah still staying out. I mean, now he's turned off the fuel save. Now he's running a little bit faster, but now they're really closing in. Past halfway of this race, and you see the shadows have been casted onto the speedway. And look at these guys. They are about to blow past Isaiah. They have caught him. And he will pit. That's what I thought was going to happen. Lap 55, I mean, maybe he's doing 27 laps. It's going to be interesting. I mean, this last set of these last 40 laps are going to be interesting to see where everybody pops out at. And they are running their fastest laps of the race. This group right now, 51 flats compared to the leaders. I mean, they're running still decently, but they are racing a little bit more right now. See, Alex now takes point. Now there's a little separation. That might be the tire wear. It's about 15 laps into this green flag run for this group. They pitted on lap 42, I believe. If we had about 15 cars, it would be an interesting race. But unfortunately, we only have 12. missing one driver. That is Cherry, unfortunately. He is missed right now. He is a very competitive driver, and we know he would have been up there in the front challenging these guys. But unfortunately, we can only get 12. I mean, we do get a lot of numbers, and we do get a lot of drivers for this league, so it's not as depressing because we get 15 drivers a lot of times, and then also, you know, the lowest we've ever had in a race in the Cup Series is about 11. So that's still good. That's still good for a league. Let's see where they are at. I mean, they're not losing any ground, or they're not gaining anything. I mean, they're both running the same lap times. Let's see what the gap will be once they go back. I mean, this is going to be a huge gap. About a 21-second gap between each other. I mean, but like I said, you kind of got to stay within 30. You cannot let them get away in 30 seconds, because if you let them get away maybe like 30 seconds, I mean, that's how long a pit stop is here, probably around that time, 20. You have to let them, you got to stay within the same amount of time that a pit stop is. And we will look next time to see what that duration of a pit stop is at this track. But I don't think it's not that long. If this was a road course, I can see something maybe happening, but they've already lost a lot of time. "22 seconds now, 26, or no, 22, 23, around that. So I feel like they have to pick up the pace a little bit. I mean, what I would say do is, I don't know, man. They kind of put themselves in a hole right now. I would say on that final run, pit when they pit. And hopefully it cycles out to where they are near them, but it's going to be a miracle. You got to hope that they are on the track close to each other, and then they're going to pit together. We are coming to 40 laps to go here at Blue Mill. A very interesting race. I mean, I did not expect this race to be very strategic at all. I thought it was going to be a blockbuster just like the finale, but a 5-car pack has pulled away from the rest of the field that is on a different strategy. They have been pitting every 21 laps compared to the Trackhouse duo of Retro and T-Bone doing about approximately every 25 laps. But we have to see what is going to happen because of these differing strategies. I understand the math behind it, but I don't know. This might be a big ask, especially when these 5 cars have been very consistent in their ability to stay in a line together and work together in the draft. I mean, they've gained a little time on them. And I think it's because these drivers, their tires are running out, so they might be coming to the pit now. This last group, they pitted on lap 42, so remember that. This is around the time when they're going to start feeding the cows. There's Steven up to front and Bubba in second. Look at that. I think Bubba and Pokemon know that this might be the race right here. I mean, if I was Pokemon and Bubba, I would try my hardest to stay in the lead. Because you know you're battling 3 drivers right now. I mean, you have your own team right now too. You have DEI. You have you in Pokemon. But it's going to be a very tall ask, and this is 62, lap 62. This is going to be a big one right now. 21-second gap. And they are coming to pit. You see the blinker. Here they come. It's going to be interesting to see where these guys are. They are on the back stretch. Let's see how long this pit stop is. A 4-tire pit stop here is going to be with gas. You see Retro and them go by. They have passed him on the front stretch. Pit stop is about 22 seconds. 26. So they will have to maintain that gap, and they cannot let that gap get bigger or smaller. I mean, oh boy. And this is what I'm saying. I think they should have just stayed within 15 seconds at least. You had to stay within 15 seconds. Because if you make a pit stop, they make a pit stop, you're going to cycle out in front. So a 22-second stop, that is pretty much the benchmark right now. You see Trey going to pit. These two guys are in front, the Trackhouse duo. Lap 64. Lap 37. Or not lap 37. 37 laps to go. But they are really separated. Everybody is separated right now. Matthew in third. Off the pit strategy. Now these guys, they are back together. 5-car pack. I mean, they've been doing it all day long. They have not lost each other. I mean, that is actually kind of incredible, because the rest of the field, we have not seen this synergy and dynamic driving as compared to the rest of the field. The rest of the field is so far apart. You cannot, their draft is not really working for themselves. So it's going to be about 10 laps until these guys pit. So we got to see what happens here. Let's look at this gap. They ain't going to cross the start-finish line. 14. About a 12-second gap. So I don't know, man. This may not work out. I don't know. Because they pitted at lap, let's see when they last pitted. They pitted on lap 62, I believe. They pitted on lap 62. So they are pitting pretty much every 21 laps. Coming to the line, we have 35 laps to go. And again, no cautions. You see they're in the back. You see them in the background coming out of turn 4. No caution race. Nobody expected this. We would have thought that there was going to be some fireworks, but a very different race in juxtaposition to the finale last year, which saw a lot of storylines, a lot of heartbreak, and a lot of triumph, as that championship was so close. It literally came down to the final lap. In the final corner as well. An all-time classic race that I will never forget. Shredding is on the tail end of this 2-car tandem. Oh, little contact there between the Trackhouse duo. But you see the lap times, 51.914. They are catching them. They are 3 wide. They are racing hard right now. So, they know that this race is, this is not a race to the final lap. They know they gotta, it might be interesting to see, it might be interesting to see when these guys want to start making moves, because I know they have to chase these guys down the front, but you're not going to be able to make a last lap pass to this track. This is very methodical. This is very single file drafting, similar to how Atlanta is in real life, but 51-second lap time, so they're doing pretty decent on the pace compared to these guys. Coming to lap 69. 32 laps left in this race. Who would have thought it would have been caution-free? No jinxing. Oh, okay, well, that was a little lag, but as soon as I say that happens, I almost got scared. Top two drivers right now. Honestly, if I was them, I would probably pit soon, because these guys are gonna have to make a stop. But what I would do is oh man, this is tough. I would probably take tires and gas, and there was a car on the apron. I think that was Husky. He must have had some type of incident. No caution, one car incident. Lap 71. 20 or 30 laps to go. And these guys are really catching them. They are really catching them. But they pitted on lap 62. Oh man, this might be close. I mean, because they are catching them by the time, I mean, oh God, because if they pit, this is why I think they should pit now, because they have to give themselves 22 seconds, and they are not doing that. They have separated themselves, so they are losing some time. And now these guys, I mean, they're going to be right next to each other. You don't have an advantage on them at all. Now it's 54 seconds. They are really slowing up the pace. I don't know, man. They are really catching them now. I mean, if we go in the hood view, you might be able to see them on board with the 60 car. Yep, we see them. We see them in turn 3 now, exiting out of turn 4. They are closing. And this group has been impeccable this race. They have all stayed together. And now you have a Trackhouse teammate in Husky right there behind them. "28 laps to go. It's crunch time. Now they are. Here they come. See them in the same frame. I mean, they have to pit now, I imagine. I don't know. Because the thing about this is that, you know, once these guys catch up to that group, they are catching. 3-car pack. 1 car is lapped down. And they're going to be in the middle of this pack. I think they got to pit now. They have to pit. Because these guys, they just have too much of a head of steam right now to really do anything. And I will be back in a second.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right strategy for these guys in the back. Coming to 21 laps to go. Because these guys, let's see the fuel situation. I mean, man, they are about a quarter, but now they have to push to really gain time on them. I don't know if they'll be able to catch. I mean, these guys are going to have to make a pit stop probably sometime between lap 86, 85. You see, these two are pulling away. I think Bubba has like had enough. I know he wants to win this race, and I think the best way he can do it is if he separates these two cars. You see RFK. I mean, the tire wear is getting to them now. I think they're going to pit now. Here they come. Let's see where these guys end up at. They're on the backstretch. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. I mean, oh man, they're on the front stretch, taking fuel, and they are out of pit road. Here they come. They're on the outside, and that could be their last stop of the day. And they are still ahead. Oh my goodness! Wow. And everybody is together. Look at this pack. Everybody is together now. Alex is leading in front of Steven. And this pack is fighting. I mean, it's a full pack now, but I mean, I don't know about this strategy because these guys they're going to make it on fuel. They're obviously going to make it on fuel, but these guys, they didn't save enough fuel. I mean, and it would be pointless now because they are getting racy right now. You see, these guys got to hold them up because I think these guys are trying to save fuel because they know this is the only way they can stay out and compete with these guys, but they've lost so much time over the duration of the race that it doesn't matter because even if you're in this pack, you're not running you're not running as much power as you want to. It's a two-car separation now between Alex and Steven. It is 16 laps to go. And that pack behind they are angry with each other because I think these guys are just trying to get away from them. And here they come. It's a huge push, and now that is going to get Shackett back behind Steven. Here comes T-Bone on the inside of Shackett. They're still rivaling for position, but I don't know. It may not be worth it because these guys, they don't have the fresher tires. I don't think they're going to make it on fuel. Contact. T-Bone. Oh, man. T-Bone got on the wall with somebody, but they managed to hold on. They are racing each other because they know, I mean, granted, the only way they can get back in this race is a caution. This is it. Top 8 right now, top 7. Isaiah is really falling off. I don't know where he's at. He is way off the pace. He is not even going to be in contention for this thing because the front of the field, they're good to make it on field. Here comes Husky, 12th place driver. Top 7 here fighting for position, but I think these guys are going to pull away because they have the fresher tire. They have the fresher tire. They have more fuel. They can push. They are good to go until the finish of this race. And Alex is leading them. Now it's crunch time. A lot of drivers, they know it's time to go. 13 laps to go at the line. You got to start making your moves now. Husky is on the apron. He has significant damage, and now he has a pit course or pit lane penalty. He is not having a good day. Shredding just had an engine blowout, so he will not finish this race. And these guys are still racing hard. They know it's time to go. Here they come. Little contact, and Pokemon is hitting the wall by T-Bone. That's going to drop him all the way back. But as we were saying throughout the whole race, the rest of the field and their nightmare has come true as the top 3 are filled with RFK drivers. And RFK, they are going to work together regardless. The rest of the field, the rest of this top 7 is full of Chevys, and these guys, they wanted to work together, but they are not going to be able to stay in tow. And Pokemon is falling off the pace after that contact with T-Bone. Here's T-Bone at the tail end of the field, but he's running his fastest laps of the race right now, but it might be too little too late. Those tires are giving up faster than his fuel, so I don't know if he can make it. He can't. Oh man, it's going to be tough because they have to save to make it. T-Bone on the inside of Bubba. Alex still in the lead, coming to 10 laps to go this time by. It is crunch time. And now Bubba clears T-Bone. Bubba on the inside. Very tight situation right there. And the front 2 are pulling away. You see Pokemon. There is a car in the background from the pit. I don't know who that is. I think that is Husky. He is just trying to finish this race. The action is picking up in the front. T-Bone is falling off the pace a little bit from that front pack. I think he is trying to save gas. Pokemon and Retro right behind each other. Pokemon falling off the pace. But it looks like it's going to come down to these 4 drivers, and it's going to be a tall task because all of them except one car is RFK affiliated. 10 laps to go, coming to 9 to go at the line. Top 4 drivers. It's going to be anyone's game now. Alex has been leading a lot of the latter half part of this race. But, oh, contact between these drivers. Shackett and Steven. Here goes Bubba to the inside, but he has no help. And they are just going to freight train him on the outside. It might be a different story. He is going to the inside. Shaq is helping Bubba. Now he's in P2. Alex, Bubba on the inside. He knows he has to make a move now. These guys are not going to help him at all. It's literally 3v1. He's on the inside. He's trying to make a stick. Contact there coming out of the final corner. They are side by side at the line. And it's just not going to help. They are on the outside. They are going to work together. So it is going to be hard to get these guys. I mean, if Bubba can pull this off, it's a miracle. Because they are not going to let up. And it looks like the rest of the field, that top 7, that they're good on fuel. It's 8 to go. They are good on fuel because I don't think they're going to stop. It's just that they have to save fuel to even make it. So they are out of this thing because these guys are running at full capacity. Alex to the outside, riding that line. Shaka gives a little push, and he will push him to 7 laps to go. This is going to get interesting. I don't know, man. These RFK drivers, all of them, they want to win. Shackett and Alex have not won an SRL race. Steven has, and he has won a championship, so I know these guys do not. They want to get a win. They do not want to push somebody. And Pokemon is catching up to this front 4 pack, but I think it'll be too little, too late. Shackett still pushing Alex. They're trying to get an RFK 1-2-3 sweep, but Joshie is ruining that right now. He's in 3rd place. Matthew is a lap down coming up in front of the leaders. The rest of the field is separated because they have been saving fuel. So Retro is out of the picture. T-Bone is out of the picture. Pokemon is going to be out of the picture. I don't think he's going to gain enough on these drivers to really make a difference. Here comes Shackett on the outside. Well, actually, that is Bubba making a pass. Shackett did not have a good corner exit. And Bubba is really trying to squander this RFK trio. I mean, he is the only guy, the only Chevy in the top 4 right now with a chance to win this race. He's going on the inside. That's not going to work. He can't make a stick. They're going down the front stretch, but I don't know, man. They're side by side, but there's 2 teammates. They're going to catch him. They're going to just push him out front. He can't do anything. I mean, he just has to hope that these guys just wreck each other. Husky is still having technical difficulties on the bottom of the track. And now it's 5 laps to go. He knows he has to go now. He's on the inside. He makes an aggressive move. He is there, but obviously no help. He's trying to clear him. He can't clear him because he has the help. Trying to side draft him, but it's just not going to work. I mean, he can't get past him. There's no way. I mean, unless these guys screw up, and he's going to get freight trained right here. He's going to get freight trained. Pokemon is coming closer to the picture. That is his teammate, so he may help him. I thought he was done for. 4 laps to go.
on the inside. He's still there. I mean, they are too wide going to that corner. I mean, Joshy really does not want to give up. He knows that they're going to work together. He can't do anything. He's going to fall in line. Pokemon is catching. He is catching. So that might be an opportunity right there. But you know, Shackett and Alex, I mean, they're not gonna work together. He's on the outside. Here they go. No run right there. Pokemon is really running fast laps. Let's see what his lap times are. He's really catching these guys, so that might be some help right there. Here goes Bubba to the inside of Steven. 3 laps to go. Nothing. And Matthew is going to be out of the picture. And here they come. Coming to 2 to go. This time by. I mean, Steven, he's not going to pass him. He's on the inside of Shackett. Still. Shackett on the inside. Huge run. He will clear him. 2 laps to go. And there's 2 lanes. They are fighting each other, and Pokemon is falling off the pace. He's not going to be in the picture. They're on the bottom. Here goes Shackett on the inside. He will pass for the lead. Alex left out to dry. And he's on the outside. Shackett tried to move and block. Here they go. Coming to 1 lap to go. Here in the final lap of Blue Moon. I mean, this is Shackett's race or nobody else's. I mean, I don't know how he's going to lose this race here. Steven, he makes a move, no little peak, but not anything of substance. He's on the inside. They're side by side. Steven and Joshy. They are 3 wide. And he's going to get shafted out of that. And Shackett just has to hold them off. It's going to be a hard pass, really. They might get a run right here. Shackett blocks. Step 1 complete. Shackett trying to navigate Matthew. Matthew, he's going to get out of the way. And I think he's got it. Step 2 is going to be complete. Shackett will come to the line, and he will win at Blue Moon. And these guys, they are close at the line. Oh, my goodness. Photo finish. It says Joshy got 3rd, but I believe Alex was ahead of him. And these guys right here, T-Bone has run out of gas. And Retro has run out of gas, is running out of gas. Sexy trying to catch T-Bone. Oh man, it's gonna be close. T-Bone gets the spot. And Sexy, Isaiah will win, or not win. He will finish P7. Retro, P8. Highs 9. And Matthew will round out the top 10. So that is pretty much it for this race. So I appreciate everybody else for watching. Shackett is the winner of Blue Moon. And that was a good race. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.